What is up, mortals? It's Miggy Sawdust here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 16 of What If Izuku Got One for All Early. Just wanted to greet you all by just saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. Let's get it. Shifts in the leaves caught Yaoyorozu off guard. She was unsure what it was. Then, out of nowhere, Izuku's shoe came crashing through the Nomu's cheek, dislocating its jaws as it was sent flying. Shortly after this was followed up by Todoroki drawing a pillar of ice to stab through the Nomu's joints, keeping it subdued in between each pillar. Todoroki, I think I got the rest from here. Please take these two and head back to the camp. Got it. Todoroki carries Yaoyorozu on his shoulders. Her muscles gave out due to her low stamina. Awase followed suit, giving Midoriya a nod before running off. Izuku nodded back as he stood before the rampaging but subdued Nomu. In another part of the forest, Aizawa stepped out from behind some trees, limping a bit. His left arm simmered with burnt skin. Behind him are Twice and Dabi, unconscious and tied to a tree using some of Aizawa's binding cloth. They were a lot harder to defeat than I thought they would be. Aizawa kept pushing forward, losing himself in the forest. That was until he saw a few students running away. He chased after them, catching up eventually. What's going on? Tree leaves shuddered with each passing rumbled vibration. Are those footsteps? Shinso glanced over Aizawa. A massive relief rushed down his back. Sir, we're being chased by the League of Villains leader and one of his lackeys, the giant one who's now following us. Where's Vlad King? He was supposed to keep you safe. Manama looks down on the floor as they run away, and a couple of tears come down his face. It was hard to make out that he was crying because they were all running, though the silence in itself was evidence enough to assume the worst. I see. The students and Aizawa keep running. On the way, they cross paths with Todoroki. Upon seeing the giant, he held his wrist as half of his body overflowed with ice. He launched a massive ice attack towards Higantomakia. The entire region around the giant was encapsulated in ice. There were pillars pinning the giant in the air. After the attack was executed, it took Todoroki a moment to catch his breath. New record. After some time, he activated his fire side, balancing out his temperature. He faced the group who were still in awe by his accomplishment. We don't have much time here. It will only block him for a minute at most, so follow me. Aizawa recollected himself as they all began to run. He asked questions. Do you have a plan, Shoto? We're heading to the clearing. Midoriya told us to meet him back there. I'm not sure what he has in store. We were in a hurry. We shouldn't be underestimating the League. They did manage to kill All Might, right? Yeah, they did. I trust Midoriya. I think we can win here. Higantomakia snapped the ice penetrating his body. He took a few deep breaths, recovering from the hypothermia. Master. He resumed his pursuit of the students. In another part of the forest, Tetsu and Kendo managed to vanquish over the villain Mustard. Yeah, we did it! Kendo takes off the mask she had on. Yes, we did. Are you okay, though? I mean, you just got shot in the face. I'm fine. I took plenty of iron this morning. I can keep going for a bit more. Kosei Subarara then rushes out of the bushes, out of breath. Great. I thought I heard your voices. Are you okay, Kosei? Just fine, just out of breath a bit. Kosei looks around, noticing Mustard on the floor. What happened here? We were awesome, just like Class 1A. We defeated a villain. Why are you here, Kosei? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We need your help. Midoriya is organizing a full frontal assault against the villains. He wants me to get as much help as I can before going back. So, you in? Tetsu and Kendo looked at each other for a moment. Yes, we are. What do you need? Kosei, Tetsu, and Kendo then run back to the clearing. In a different part of the forest, Ochako and Suyu were making advances against Toga. Oh, goody, new friends. She hid her lips behind her over-length sweater sleeves. You guys are too cute. Toga charges at Uraraka, drawing out a knife while flipping it between her fingers. Her movements were unpredictable and had plenty of finesse to boot. Her physique was small as well, empowering her agile way of fighting. She sliced at Ochako's limbs. Luckily, with her training from Gunhead, Ochako outmaneuvered her opponent and even pinned her to the floor, subduing her. You have some nice moves, Ochako. I see you're very determined here. Is it because you like someone? Uraraka blushes and loses her composure. Toga uses the opportunity and frees herself. She grabs another knife and charges at Tsuyu, wanting to stab her. Come on, let's see some blood. You'll look really cute. Sero comes into the forest and sees what's happening. He reacts by shooting tape and taking the knife away from Toga. What's exactly going on here? Sero? Toga turned to Sero and charged using her syringe. Sero stumbles back as she charges him, not knowing what to do. Oh, goody, a new friend. Let's see some of that blood. Tsuyu shoots out her tongue, grabbing onto Toga's arm. She looks back at her in surprise. Oh, right. I can't neglect you guys. Toga cuts Tsuyu's tongue and charges at them. Uraraka gained her composure, charging back. We're done here. Toga reacts. She grabs her syringe and tries to stab Uraraka. Uraraka grabs Toga's arm and shirt, using herself as a pivot, and throws Toga against a tree. Sero, now! Sero stutters for a moment since he doesn't know what Uraraka wants him to do. Use your tape! Oh! All right. Sero then uses his tape to trap Toga against the tree. She tries to struggle out of it. Let me out! I want more blood! Sero then hits Toga over the head, knocking her unconscious. You've caused enough trouble. Uraraka helps Tsuyu up. Are you okay, Sue? Tsuyu can't stand on her own and needs Uraraka to hold her.
Just a bit hurt. Can't stand too much. I think she cut one of my legs.
Uraraka turns to Sero. Thanks for helping out, but why are you here? Oh, right. Midoriya came up with a plan to defeat the villains. Midoriya did? But why are you here? Well, I was supposed to go get help to fight them. Tsuyu, do you think you can go?
No, Ribbit, but I think you should. Leave me here, I'll be fine. You go help.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ribbit.
Uraraka finds a satisfying location to hide Asui. She and Sero then return to the clearing. The 3 Class B students, Tetsu, Kendo, and Kosei, arrive at the clearing. After them, the next group to arrive is Uraraka and Sero. Where are the rest? We don't know, we just got here. Todoroki and the remedial students then come running. What's going on? He's after us. Who? A rumbling is heard in the woods as a giant starts making his way towards them. Oh, crap! The students that were gathered start running as well. As they do, a small, dim light shines from inside the forest. Izuku flourished in front of the group. His outfit was still torn and Blackwhip was still holding his body structure in place. A flash of light followed behind him as he zipped past the group. He smashed Higantomakia, making him stumble back. Is that Midoriya? Ha! You bet! How much power does he have? Midoriya lands on the ground after the attack, and the students gather around him. That was amazing, Deku! Midoriya blushes a bit. Oh, thanks, but wasn't much. Yaoyorozu uses her quirk. The remaining lipids she had in her body were siphoned. This is for you guys. She pulled a couple of gauntlets out of a bag and handed them to Bakugo. They were smaller than his regular version, but still just as effective. As he seized them, a huge grin formed on his face. She also grabbed some binding cloth, a metal mask, and some smaller items, handing them to Shinso. Yaoyorozu ran out of energy. She couldn't make any more support items for her classmates. The students put on the support gear that she had just made and got ready. Higantomakia pushed himself up from the floor. He grabbed the tree by the base of its log and charged at Izuku, swinging the entire tree at him. Izuku had mere moments to block. He raised his forearms as the tree made impact. Once again, the bones in his forearms fractured. It launched him far, but he was caught by Todoroki, conjuring an ice ramp for him to slide down. As he slid down, he prepared his full cowling, Black Whip once again having to reinforce his forearms from the tree attack. One for all, 80% full cowling! Midoriya jumps back into the air, going at extreme speeds, and Higantomachia's fist is met by Midoriya, creating a huge shockwave. Midoriya started falling towards the ground, and as Higantomachia prepared for another attack, Bakugo used his explosions and jumped into the air, blasting Higanto in the face, making him stumble. Midoriya fell, and Black Whip untangled itself around Izuku's body and snapped straight towards some trees, catching Izuku, whose body went limp from his bones, displacing for the time that Black Whip was unraveled from his body. When the falling grinded to a halt, Black Whip reattached itself to Izuku, reinforcing his body back into a stable state. Izuku took a deep breath. The pain that ran through his entire body was otherworldly. He coughed up blood on the floor when Black Whip dropped him and reinforced itself on his body. It rebound all his limbs to face the right direction. Fractures of bone laid in the puddle of blood as he got back up. Higantomachia stood there waiting for him. He went to slap Izuku, but the young hero pushed back with all of his might, his feet dragging against the dirt. Izuku hugged the giant's index finger and flipped over it, twisting the finger backwards. He roared in pain as he grasped his hand. Master! Izuku leaped up, sending an omnidirectional shockwave out from his takeoff. He aimed his fingers at the wound Todoroki made before and flicked a dense air bullet to the injury. One for all, 90% Delaware Air Force flick! Midoriya lands on the ground and Todoroki freezes Higanto's feet. Uraraka then touches Izuku. He begins to float and propels himself to the sky, rocketing into the air once more. One for all, Colorado Crush! His fist slammed down on the top of Higanto's cranium. His upper spine snapped in half. He fell forward with little to no resistance, crashing down with a shockwave. Izuku landed shortly after. His appendages were a dark purple from his broken bones and bruised muscles. Black Whip was the only thing holding his body together at this moment. Are you alright, Deku? Your whole body looks like crap right now. I'm fine, thanks. Trees and flora surrounding the group of students began disintegrating into dust after some time.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? My best friends, all in one place.
Shigaraki raises his hand at them and points at Midoriya.
I think it's time you died, don't you?
Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed that. Before you leave, we'd just like to let you know that we the Celestials have many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all our other incredible projects that our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will also be in the description below. That's all for today, so goodbye and have a divine day.